They're going to ban away the Yone and the Vi already. We will see the Varus Talia banned by Weibo.
And we will, and Bessa actually going to catch a round 1 ban in contrast to game number 1. Does leave up the Poppy, which has kind of seen a fair bit of priority bans on blue side throughout this playoffs. And then also the Nico is the other thing that's on my mind here. Will Weibo ban it away for the 3rd slot? They will.
Yep.
So you've got all of the strong junglers. Rumble will be immediately locked in here for TheShy. And it does make you wonder what Bree will go towards as that lane answer. For the time being, though, they can leave that till 3 if Weibo want to, you know, lock in that Xin or the Pantheon with a very strong early roaming mid laner like the Rise or the Galio. They certainly could. Hell, they could actually first rotation the Galio and just hold it as a flex, right? See if they want to place it top for Breathe. Plenty of options here for the side of Weibo.
Go with a little bit 2v2 action here. Could go with the Melio if they really wanted. See what they want to pair up with that Lucian, but the Lucian going to be locked in for light.
You know, I feel like not enough
Pantheon,
people,
right?
It's probably Pantheon, yeah. I mean, not enough teams go Melio with the Lucian. Surely this is a funny horror. Yeah, okay, cool. You know,
yeah.
You can never know. Like, look, man, you never know. All right. Poppy, Jiejie. I think Jiejie
it has to be.
Yeah, he's also been one of our better Poppy players in the league, if not the best.
He was the one that was pulling Poppy out before she got real popular last year. Even on at the closing moments of EDG for him. It was always incredible to watch his Poppy, the way he picks apart the map itself.
Absolutely. Rookie. Could look for an option here on mid if you'd like, but I would anticipate that Gala goes towards something that can kind of survive or even nullify this Lucian lane early on. Options aren't particularly cold, no pun intended, here, as the misfortune will come
This
through.
has been an answer we've seen into the Lucian a lot of times, because you just can at least have that dueling strength in the 2v2.
It's really what you're looking for. The question is, what will Meiko lock in? And will he make use of a potential counterpick? My expectation here is that we get Erhar's champion. Of course, the Nami is what would be on your mind here. I really like the Melio. I think it's probably his best pairing. Breathe. We'll
he just really wants the Cassante, man. He just really wants it.
In his defense, he had a really, really solid series on it. Not singular game. Don't get series on champions anymore. Against JDG, right? He pretty much single-handedly brought them back in that game number 2, where he constantly found out pays alongside Erhar. To be fair, it was them doing a lot of the heavy lifting in that number 2 game. As Alistar's going to join the ban phase, I expect another, setup engage support like the Leona will be taken away from Meiko. Something along those lines, right? Something that's going to be reliable here, something that's going to be set up will always be the answer here. And Braum is also taken off the board, so I wonder if there's ever a world where we end up seeing, let's just say Nautilus for argument's sake, and then it maybe forces IG to ban away the Leona themselves, just because Weibo maybe IG don't want to have to deal with that. Rather, okay, so they're sending a side shot to the Xin Zhao just because they're potentially concerned that the Poppy could go into Meiko's hands, so they don't want to kind of fully commit into a choice here, which also suggests to me that we might end up getting Xiaohu's pick here on 4 as opposed to 5. We'll have to wait and see whether or not that comes to fruition, and whether or not IG just decide to ban out the mid laner in the response. And it will be the Victor. What does Xiaohu really want? Ideally, you want it to be something that can really move alongside the Pantheon. Oh, it's so cute.
I'm sorry. Cute. I get distracted really easily by animals. I don't know what to tell you.
I mean, hey, very respectable. Rel, okay, so this definitely, it serves as a bit of a takeaway here from the misfortune lane, and also the composition that has Rumble. It does mean, however, Meiko could have a pretty good time if he wants that Poppy support. However, the hover might indicate that it will just end up being Jiejie's Poppy regardless, and that Xin Zhao ban kind of goes to waste a little bit.
Yeah, I do like that they were able to kind of mind game Weibo on that factor as well. They will end up just getting that Leona locked in, so that long distance engage, a far cry to what they had in game number 1, and I like this comp so much more from IG.
The way to round it out would just be realistically something that scales in the mid lane, in my opinion. You don't have to do anything super crazy here. You've got a lot of very strong lanes. The Rise does feel very perfect, and it also serves as a takeaway, I think, from Xiaohu, because I'd like to say I think the Rise would have been really good for the Weibo composition. Is why I was kind of calling for a 4 pick here from Xiaohu. Does give him the opportunity
what do you go? Xiaohu gets the counter pick here. Game number 2.
Yeah. I mean, Azir's out, Ari's out. I don't want to call out the
Galio could be good.
Like, okay, it's going to do its job in Prio. It just feels like it's going to kind of suck for a lot of the rest of the game. The Magic Shield is going to be good against the Equalizer. Like, it's going to have its purpose.
Where's the damage, man? Oh, like, the whole meme of where's the beef, where's the damage?
You know, that's why I didn't want to talk about the Galio. I was actually wondering if we would get something, like, really funky and out there. Like, I was going to call out the Casio. We got to see it earlier from BDD. And it didn't look too bad. And it's an old-school Rise lane counter. And the range of IG, pretty short. You know, I think it could have been a Casio angle, gives them that scaling. And the DPS, I think they sorely needed in this composition. Alas, though, it will be that Galio.
I do like that they're trying to play into that combination of Tian and Xiaohu, though. I think that has been something they've struggled to really pull off, but they have been as of late. And I think that's super important to highlight, especially with the level of play we saw from these two guys in that game number 1 and how proficient and active they were. The Galio will continue to be that factor for Xiaohu, and he's really taken up the general mantle here with him and Tian being that real big centerpiece in a lot of these fights.
They have, I feel like for Weibo here, a lot is going to have to go right in the early game. We saw a very, what seemed preordained early game plan come out of Weibo to set Jiejie behind. I think they're going to have to look into something very similar for this game number 2. Otherwise, I think that this is going to be a pretty run-of-the-mill game potentially for IG. But you can never really say any game will be run-of-the-mill when it comes to IG. That is just the team that they are as we head onto the riff for game number 2.
Absolutely true. It's important to focus on the fact that this series is the end-all, be-all for the loser of this one. Best of 5 matters the most when it is your life on the line. And while we're in Beijing and JDG's home, it is Weibo Gaming versus IG, game number 2.
Much more in sync. We did predict that, though.
That guy just has a shirt that says TheShy on it in the front. I like it.
I missed that. That's pretty funny.
I love it. But this game number 2, I love it because shout out Kelsey Bozer. Both these teams suck on red side, man. So, like, I absolutely expect a little bit of a back and forth nature, and why a lot of us expected a 5-game series tonight.
I can't remember whose stat belonged to who. Maybe you do, Mazel. One team.
I have it right here. Weibo's split 2 total, 34% red side win rate. IG's is 45.
Huh. Yeah.
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 You know, maybe blue side just is OP. You know,
True.
I personally, I don't think it is. I feel like it's a small bit of a self-fulfilling prophecy where it's like, hey, you know, we're a red side. Then you get a draft like this where it's like Weibo to have in my opinion, just kind of an objectively worse draft for a multitude of reasons. And now it's like, well, if you slam them on blue side, you'd probably, you know, if you're a betting man, you'd probably take them to lose. You know, so we'll see how they crack on. Weibo having the worst of records here on that red side. Tian is going to be pathing down towards the bottom side. Jiejie is pathing up towards top. So there will be no early action of junglers meeting each other. immediately, but there could be a potential play onto Gala. Meiko.
Oh my god.
Onto Breathe. Oh.
So only the second Lucian game for Light, obviously, in the split. Hasn't played it in playoffs. Meanwhile, we're getting that engage on bot side. A little bit of desync between him and Erha there. It's Breathe getting pushed out on top side. TheShy has a hell of a win rate on Rumble. You gotta say, the couple little things getting a little bit spicy early. Specifically the fact that double sums down by Gala.
Yeah, double sums down by Gala, and Pantheon is pathing bot. Alarm bells gonna start ringing pretty soon here. There's a ward in the tri-brush to catch that out, so hopefully for IG they won't be dove here, but no guarantee it won't happen. Vision ward will catch that. They know Pantheon's down there. Jiejie is nowhere in sight because he's getting his top skull. He pathed towards his top side. His lane of prio. Tian will, however, turn around, do the same thing here. Seems like at the end of the day, junglers will just mirror each other out. A ward will probably come out on the Raptors from Tian.
Okay, I like this. This is something quintessential of Jiejie's Poppy. He always looks for early advantages, looks for early avenues, and he finds it right up the avenue of Xiaohu. First blood for IG.
Yeah, I mean, very, very easy play to make. And I mean, honestly, Xiaohu dies on a solo queue timer, man. There's not really much else to say. I think just off screen before we panned up, Xiaohu, I want to say he must have used the taunt. Otherwise, he would have tried to have used the taunt to try and proc phase rush. Doesn't proc it in time, or just didn't have it. He's not able to walk off, and that steadfast presence was really annoying. So fair play to Jiejie. Makes it work. And we'll now see Tian continue on that full clear. Doesn't really get a reset timer here for the time being. Jiejie goes back. Looks like he'll be going towards the Sundered Sky before he goes into any more tank items.
Gala gonna get his back? Dude, Gala. Really? Really? Really, bro? I mean, maybe he just doesn't really want to back, just wants to get free damage onto Erha. Meanwhile, TheShy gonna preemptively flash, realizing Tian was coming. That ward buying so much of his life for it. And Tian's gonna try, he realizes, alright, there might have been a ward in that bush. TheShy's gonna pressure out Tian, gonna get a deep ward there as well. Some nice little emote game from Tian, but TheShy may be looking to stop his back here. Finally, Tian will get his back off in the end.
Will happen eventually.
Got the tunneler. That's actually pretty big.
Yeah, nice base. 1,150 gold and some change for the control ward. He's going to be on this bot side. I wonder if he's going to be willing to start up an early dragon. I think once Xiaohu hits level 6, he's going to have a lot of freedom, Tian. Kind of do whatever he wants around these neutral objectives. TheShy did just about catch Breathe resetting, so shoving the wave, go back to base himself. Breathe will miss out on a fair few minions there, about 3, maybe 4. Everything's going pretty swimmingly for IG so far in this early game, Mazel.
Boring.
To kind of be expected, though, yeah. There's not been...
Although level 6 is when these comps really kick off, so I do expect the uptick in tempo and stuff, especially that kind of dragon has been left to the wayside. Tian gonna look to start that one up. Maybe has enough time to finish it off ahead of the grub spawn too, and potentially get that 5-on-5 going. And speaking of the potentials of that, right, who do we really favor at this level 6 mark?
I mean, right now I'm gonna favor IG because he's the one. Jiejie is the one with level 6. Tian is still level 5, and Jiejie is making his way over.
They got the move from bot too. Oh, Weibo, what have you done? They're in a lot of trouble. They are being completely sandwiched for this play. He gets wall banged on top at heroic entrance. Might just throw Xiaohu's life away for it too. Gala goes down to Light in the end, and Light is cooking here. He's got some good damage here and has those resets coming out. He really wants to try to get that level 6, but the dragon is going to be the focus. Erha stopped in his tracks. Tries to get it with the Winds of War from Xiaohu, but won't secure it. Jiejie gets the first dragon for IG.
Yeah, I mean, Jiejie having that level 6 from that top scuttle, able to just run over. They see Tian start this dragon up on that control ward. And still, Tian, despite knowing he's on vision, decides to commit to the play anyway, and everything turns up IG. Now give them their first dragon of the game. And unlike game number 1, where Tian got off to a flying start, he's going to be the one that's going to sit in this deficit in the early game.
And I just really like the utility that Jiejie's Poppy brings to the table here. So many dashes, so many things that can just be stopped in their tracks by that steadfast presence. And he already has that little bit of an advantage over Tian. We'll see once these bot lanes hit level 6 how this grub fight comes out, because we are getting to that spawn now, Jamada.
Yeah, there we are. 8 minutes cresting over. TheShy is up here. He's going to have ult in 25 seconds. TP will come through here from Breathe, so he's at the very least on this side of the map. But I mean, you would still favor IG. I mean, especially with the Gala ult being down for the time being, and the fact that Xiaohu's assigned to the bot lane right now anyway. IG should be able to secure this. Or at the very least, let Weibo walk in and then just contest after the fact. Maybe the mid prio is going to be the big kind of decision maker here for IG. One grub taken at least.
Yeah, they at least got the one. See IG and the rest of the company come through, be able to take the rest of these here. At least it's not the full grubs going over. Though I will say they will get a mark on the feats of strength there and be one objective closer to getting that side of the feats of strength.
Definitely one of the nicer changes in the recent patches. Going down to one set of grubs and then getting two counting towards that. I can't remember what the actual feat itself is called, but the objective feat is culling. Tickles Meiko.
Yeah. Erha finally hit level 6. It's a little bit worried for him there. A lot of damage coming down. Nothing else going to come of it here. And we could start thinking and theorizing. You know, we talked about the lead that IG have built for themselves here, about 1,000 gold up, some of the advantages they have in the scaling aspects of things. But I do see the kind of blueprint that Weibo bring to the table in these team fights. I see the avenue for them.
I mean, so do I, but I think they really want to get stuff going soon. They've got engaged.
I mean, it's got to be a tee-off between Tian and Xiaohu, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's always going to be the kickoff here. If Erha also can find, you know, a good angle, I think he's going to be kind of hard-pressed to find frontal engages, right? He's going to kind of have to play in a much more flank-orientated position as they're looking for TheShy here.
Oh, they got the all-out Grand Starfall in. TheShy going to pop the equalizer as a red carpet for his exit. Tian in a lot of trouble, pops the shield. The Q3 does not connect from Breathe, doesn't get the slowdown either. The spear will not be enough to take down TheShy, and TheShy should just be fine. I wonder if Breathe wants to go for anything. Meanwhile, bot side, Xiaohu in trouble, will flash away from the solar flare. And that should just be Meiko making it a little bit pressureful on the bot side.
What a strange way for that to be played out mechanically. That top side play. We'll have to hold that thought for the time being, potentially. It's just going to be Gala getting some damage down. I was wondering if there was going to be anything more funky going on that mid lane. But yeah, Tian just held on to the stun, right? I think he would, you know, he did want TheShy to flash and then he could follow up with that W, but I think he just played to lock him in place so that Breeve's W can connect, right? That is a lot of the damage from the all-out Cassante.
Yeah.
That ends up getting dodged out on. Now playing the mid lane.
Tian just walks into a wallbang from Jiejie. Now Erha is completely by himself. Heroic entrance comes in, but it's not nearly enough to save him. Now Xiaohu maybe trying to pick up the slack here, but bullet time on a 2, and the shield is not nearly going to be enough for Tian. He gets claimed by Rookie for a double kill, as another wallbang will come through for Jiejie. Gala gets his own.
It's just a head-scratching sequence of events. Just everything that went down there, from Tian getting knocked into the wall. Light is probably going to have to lose something
What
here.
is this, man? Okay, Rookie will miss 2 Qs, but it's fine. In the end, it's just all about strutting his stuff. And, dude, what is it with these teams, man? What happens when they switch to red side to just lose their minds?
I mean, at least in game 1, you know, it felt like IG lost to better coordination, you know? This game here from Weibo is just bad decision making. Erha, you are alone. You stopped Rookie's base.
What did I tell you? They lose their freaking minds, man. Like, I don't know what to say. Like, at least they get the dragon, you know? It's a little bit of something.
Yeah. It was, yeah. That okay. That's how we're gonna frame this. He stopped Rookie's base and made sure that IG had 0 tempo to get towards the dragon. That's what happened there, Mazel. We're not big brain enough to see it. Erha just steps too far forward. Xiaohu looks for, more. And you can't blame him in the position he's in. However, the bullet time plus the Poppy ultimate is just a fantastic combo. Xiaohu needs the entire length of the bullet time. Tian would have died in it if he didn't have the eat. And then the kill goes over to Gala. Hello.
Come back to live and breathe as 3 people surrounding him. No response there, a side lane pick for IG. And I gotta say, it's a little bit of a realization of what these guys' jobs are within this team. If Erha is not there, you have to be able to stop that bullet time for Xiaohu. You have to be able to use the taunt, the justice punch, whatever you want to be able to stop that. But if you don't, Gala's just gonna have free hitting. And Xiaohu knows how strong Gala can be on a personal level. They played so many years together. And now I'm paying the price for that one as his old teammate finds him yet again. Doesn't end up getting the kill, and they'll give it over to Jiejie in the end.
I think we're in for a fast game number 2, Mazel.
Dude,
I don't know how long we're going to be...
it's just part of the script. We just have to get to 5. Whatever managing way we get there, that's how we're going to get there. But game 5 is coming. Bullet time out. Solar flare there. A decent amount of damage with that double up as well on Tian and Erha. Light still trying to weave in some of this damage, but he is really the only damage on the team.
Yeah, he is. And it just goes back to draft, right? You wonder about what you could really go here as Xiaohu. Whether or not the Rise was actually just the correct call, go Rise on 4, accept the blind pick. Then, of course, you are worried about, I suppose, Galio on the enemy team, but you probably kill him anyway, eventually. But it would be so much presence to give over to a Poppy. It's a tough call to make, right? It feels like they picked their poison, and unfortunately the poison that they ended up with was just the stronger poison, I guess. Who really is taking the poison now? Is it us? Maybe. Oh, yet to be determined. There is the Rift Herald up. Still going to be big focus from IG on that side of the map. I mean, Rookie, of all people, is 4-0 on the Rise. We talked in the draft how important this pick would be as time goes on. Well, that time just got sped up. The old man is looking spry, and it's really nice to see that rebuttal from Rookie over Xiaohu in this game number 2 after he definitely got gapped in game number 1. Still actually take the poison. Yeah, we're collectively taking the poison here. As I speak about Rookie, I definitely cast or cursed him here, but maybe the magic will be there. And Jiejie right there to get the keeper's verdict right out. Xiaohu now wall banged into it, and Xiaohu took the bait completely, and Rookie will gun him down as the Q comes through. Rookie finds himself a 5th kill. It's comical, man. That's gonna be on the shorts. I have no doubt. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's LPL editor. We'll see you in a day's time, brother. Oh man. Do we even need to surmise that?
No, but we could talk about Rookie some more. I'm down. As he's just gonna breathe. Okay. He's still there. Oh,
hello.
Massive flank. Okay. Solar flare ends up connecting, trying to stop the rest of the attack, but they do get the shutdown onto Rookie.
Okay, I've got an idea. Wait.
Flash. No, he doesn't even need it. There it is. And he gets Meiko. Weibo. They find a little bit of an answer. Still 3.7 thousand gold down, though. A bounty will go their way.
Okay, I'm talking directly to the LPL shorts editor. I don't know if they're ever going to see this. But first play, whatever you want, right? Edit it to your heart's content. That second one, though, it's got to be RKO from out of nowhere from Erha. It's got to be. It can't be anything else. It was from literally the top rope off screen.
Yeah. What a play from a Rookie, too. I got to say, that's good decision making. When you're down, you've got to find something to go. Look at this roam all the way from Erha coming down from mid lane. It all kicks off with this brutal play on the Xiaohu, though.
Yeah, and it's just like Rookie, like he's able to walk out of the Galleon.
Yep.
And like it's just so perfect. The taunt doesn't last long enough for Jiejie not to cast Steadfast Presence once Xiaohu's here. And then he flashes with the Spell Flux following him. It's just...
it's so disgusting.
It just feels horrible. We come out of the replay. IG are getting a dragon. They did secure Feats of Warfare. Frankly, I can't remember when, but they probably had it for a little while.
And now ballooning to almost 4,000 gold up. With a very hefty scaling composition as well. I will say there are some benefits to time for Weibo. I mean, you do have those second items, especially for Breathe. And I gotta say, Breathe can have a lot of say in this game. I mean, he's not the Cassante of old, but he's still damn Cassante. And IG gonna try to snuff that out immediately.
Yeah, he has 2 items. Very strong. Not cheap items either.
Oh, IG, you've overextended. You've played your hand a little too fast. The Keeper's Verdict going to be unstoppable out of by Breathe. So they bring Rookie over. Rookie is that big guillotine. Light trying to find some damage in. The Equalizer on top of all of them with the bullet time.
My God.
That's a spicy hot pot without the pot. It's Weibo Gaming getting dusted here by another double kill for Gala. A triple in the end. And IG takes something out of nothing.
Gala wants more. What's the call again? Gala.
That one, yeah.
That one.
Shout out to Ashin.
Yeah, wherever you are in the world right now, Ashin, shout out to you.
Hope you're well, King.
Yeah.
Hope you're enjoying that Ireland air. God, I miss Ireland.
It's great air over in Ireland, to be fair. It's one of those things. I mean, Mazel, you're a, you're a farm boy, city boy.
I am.
You know about how that farm air hits in comparison. Anyway, we'll stop that for a second. Look at this combo, everybody.
We're on the farm now.
Yeah. Except it's Weibo are the crops, and IG are the farmers.
That combo,
Look at this.
man.
It's so incredible. So
The
much
fact
damage.
that Xiaohu has had multiple ultimates that just is him diving into hell itself is hilarious to me. I mean, he literally just dove into a bullet time equalizer combo on top of him. Like, I know there's no other way to enter that fight, but my God, the contrast from game number 1 to game number 2 in this mid lane matchup is massive.
Really is. Night and day performance here.
I mean, I gotta say, Jamada, we talked about like kind of the lacking of success for Xiaohu in recent history, right? Like finishing second in finals, getting absolutely dusted by T1. Rookie is in a similar drought, my man. The man has not been in internationals in years, and we'll see them punish Tian in the end here. And off the back of Rookie finding a flank on Rise, gonna outside step Erha and show him the ropes here as the Rookie gets taken down by Rookie. And Xiaohu locked down now as well. IG are just playing with their food.
Yeah, they are. TheShy did die in the background there to breathe, but it's realistically a consolation prize. They'll pick up this tier 2 in the mid lane. They've got the Atacon as well. Plan's going smoothly. Not much else to write home about for the time being. Weibo, they really need a miracle at this point, but I don't know where it's ever going to come from. No one on the team comp deals damage, Mazel. That's kind of the bottom line here.
Yeah, I want to keep going because we have this is a very one-sided game. We have a little bit of breathing room here, and I talked at least so much about Xiaohu in terms of like his new story, his new iteration on Weibo Gaming, but it's been a hell of a roller coaster for Rookie, man. I mean, you think back to those V5 days, the undefeated split into travesty of what that playoffs was, and the fact that this man has not lifted a trophy since 2019 is actually wild to me with how close he's gotten to being at that precipice. The TS years where he was picking up the slack on a team full of super names, and Rookie all these years later still not finding that success. I know it weighs heavily on him.
It certainly does. I still remember the beginning of the downfall of that V5 run as well. Funnily enough, do you know what organization it was against?
Gotta love it, man. Gotta love the storytelling. Oh, it all works out in the end. IG, though, maybe not working out here with this fight, although the counter engage and the equalizer on top of it. Oh, man, it's dirty. Xiaohu also just... Dude, just so Xiaohu needs a saving grace. Needs something here. TheShy flashes for Breathe. Goes for the autos. Gets Q3, though. Tries to take down Breathe, and he dies. Xiaohu actually finds the pullback. He's going to shield up as well from that burn. Jiejie flashed over the wall to try to follow through, but the turret is the focus in mid lane for IG.
Yeah, they'll just about break this open. Wondering how much more they could go for. Ocean Dragon to go and retreat back to, so they'll be alright. A little bit of an overextension, and TheShy gets a bit too hypey, but would it be a TheShy game without one of those deaths? Not really.
It definitely wouldn't be, and Erahawk gonna go down as well, as he will join the general in the mid lane in the 5-death category here, and Dragon number 3 for IG on the table.
I don't think we're gonna get 4. Maybe we do. We'll find out. Baron spawns in a minute and 15 seconds. Xiaohu, run.
Dun, 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 dun. No, I'm just all right. The meme, you know, you had to go with the meme.
Yeah.
Yesterday was Meiko's birthday. He's 27. I'm surprised he didn't announce his retirement. Memes aside, congratulations, Meiko, on his birthday, but also to continue the IG run here. Something that I know all these guys have in sight is trying to reclaim that glory for IG. It's been so long, it feels, since this organization has been at the top of the table. And here they are with a super team of their own making, try to make that difference. Meiko gets caught, wall banged in. Meiko flashes, solar flare right back, and Breathe is gone. No more life left in the tank, and that's IG pushing with this next wave to try to take a tier 2.
They are. Should secure this here.
Wait. Oh, no.
Yeah, just look away. Oh, goodbye.
Oh, Era, look away Tian. Too. As he gets absolutely picked. Tian gets the combo with Xiaohu. This is what we were talking about. Can be the saving grace for them. TheShy goes down, but it's traded immediately. And Rookie still not going down, finding more. Gets the shield pop as well and gives Gala the kill over onto Tian. That's a full-on total ace. Not clean, but dominant.
Very dominant indeed. I mean, this game's kind of over, man. It's been over for a while. I'm just hoping, at this point, 10k gold deficit, no shenanigans. But it's not giving shenanigans this game, you know. It's not giving IG
stomp.
Yeah, it's giving stomp. Yeah. Good way to bounce back for IG, though, especially after game 1 and how it played out. We do effectively turn this into a best of 3.
True.
Assuming, of course,
I mean,
IG
this is what we expected.
Do the thing, and yeah, it is what we expected. Just gets obliterated. Xiaohu has to help his jungler.
He didn't ult into a bullet time equalizer this time, and honestly, that's character growth. I'm trying to make the best out of a 10k deficit. Come on, you know.
I know. Tian is trying to make the best.
Look at Erha. He's just like, nobody come over here, please. I'm not here. I promise. Don't look in the bush, please.
I'm in a cardboard box. There's a new game coming out, actually. Oh, hello.
Jiejie stops him in his tracks, wall bangs him, and the bullet time comes over.
Hey,
counter. Okay. Jiejie not there with his team, but they end up cleaning house anyways. Xiaohu and Breathe leave, and that leaves space for Light to get taken out by IG.
Oh, for God's sake. All right, well.
Dude, our GOAT's 10-1 and 11. Dude, Rookie is showing out this game, especially after that last game, which Xiaohu just got the better of him in every way, shape, or form. Like, that feels good.
Yeah, I'm doing my best not to gush over my perfect favorite. Best mid of all time.
I mean, it might be their last series. Might be the time to go.
Yeah, it might be.
Oh my God.
Things as over as this game.
Moser.
Bell bottoms, segways, NFTs, and my LOL career.
Hey, you just were a part of the grand finals of NACL, Kelsey. Your league career is not over. All right?
Yeah.
Just want to let you know that. Big shout out to Kelsey Moser behind the scenes, keeping everything fun in what is a 14,000 gold lead now.
20K? 20K?
We might get up to 20K at this point. I hope the game doesn't last that long, but we're going to find out real soon.
I hope it doesn't too, but like low key though, you know, like what if IG just don't end the game after like this next fight for whatever reason?
Let them get to 5 items and we just team fight it out. Unfortunately, I do not think that is in the cards here. I think IG, you want to go ahead and get over into game number 3 and start this run for themselves. You got to remember, things are going to get hot and heavy once we get through to these later games with all the bans that'll be coming through. And IG just crossing their T's, dotting their I's here in their name to get this game number 2 underway. Try to get that 1-to-1 score streak going. Grand Starfall in, immediately stopped by everything IG throws at them. Keeper's Verdict goes a little bit wide, but it does not matter in the end. The GA gets popped, but that is all that gets popped on the side of IG. Speaking of, on the other side, there's pop, 5 dead, and IG even up the series.
Head to a best of 3, and not to summon his spirit, but like Munchables would often say, we've got a series on our hands.
On our
right
hands.
Here.
Shout out to Munch.
A lot of shout outs for the old guard today. Yeah, I mean, fantastic game from IG. The draft, we kind of expected that if Weibo didn't get off to a real, running start, hit the ground hard, this was always going to kind of be the end game here. There's just so much poppy value, in this game, and yeah, Jiejie maximized it quite heavily. And it felt like we never got to see the best of, Pantheon, Galio really dominating a side lane. No easy target, just because of the tempo and the nature of that game. Oftentimes you'd like to see the Rumble like really abused, and it just never really ended up happening. That coalition of powers never really came together to stop that and really get things rolling. Weibo just had nothing to answer for, really.
I don't know what it is about red side. What's in the water? Maybe it's lead or maybe it's asbestos. I don't know. But something on red side is... I got the laugh. That's all that matters. Something about red side just makes these teams lose their mind. We talked about their red side win rates as well. And yeah, the 30% around for Weibo Gaming feels real bad, but it's obvious that there may be a reason why for that. But I'm sure they're going to be back on blue side. We start thinking about all the picks that are going to be taken off the table at the end of this next game. It'll be 30 total in terms of with the bans, as well as the 20 champions taken out from the first 2 games. And we've seen a lot of the comfort from both sides be taken off the board, so I got to imagine we're going to start getting to the nitty-gritty.
You'd like to think so. There are still a lot of those powerful junglers up and available because you've had more off-key ones, right? From the get-go, game 1 it was Neferi and Wukong. This game here was the Pantheon, yes, but then on the opposite side, the Poppy. So still got Xin Zhao, still got Vi. Then of course you start to hit the slightly lower tiers. The Trundle has been one that starts to like come out, especially when Sejuani rises in priority. And hey, both of these junglers, very prolifically Sin players, to say the least. So,
one of them even has a skin for it.
One of them owns a skin. Yeah, it's one of those things. So, we'll see as we progress. To at the bare minimum now, game 4, whether those picks end up flying through. But yeah, real nitty-gritty stuff starts to really kick in now. Game 3 onwards, do we start to see things like the Nico actually be allowed through and traded in the bottom lane? Of course, I mentioned the Vi already. Talia, the other big one as well. How do these teams want to trade across these picks? These will be the questions we will find answers to once we get around to the next set of drafts.
The question I want an answer to is, can we please have a good game of League of Legends? Please. Like, these 2 games have been brutally awful. And I really hope we get the kind of contested game that we expect from these two teams and not just trading blue side wins all the way to see who gets game number 5 blue side. But really strong performance from Rookie and Gala. I think this combination, but with Jiejie's undercurrent of just constant activity, was really impressive to see. And we got to see the decision-making, that cohesion that we didn't see in game number 1 from IG. And I can safely say they have woken up into the series.
That they have very swift fashion at that too. I think the end game time there was just over 30 minutes. Frankly, it could have been done 5 sooner. But dotting I's, crossing T's, that kind of good stuff. Once this play happened, I mean, the game was pretty much over, but this just felt like the real... Oh my god.
Oh, you observer cam, you are dirty for that one. That one is already teed up in the shorts. They are already editing it right now. That shot was cool.
That might be one of the coolest observer shots I think I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Ever.
It's like one side is out, one side is in.
I kind of want to sneeze, but it's doing the thing.
Okay, I was wondering what that face was.
I'm sorry.
I believe in you.
I've got allergies. You know, hay fever's doing its thing here to me. It is what it is. Cool observer shot. Speaking of shot, felt like that's what happened to Weibo this game. Yeah, it felt real.
They
miserable.
didn't have a shot, right? Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't have a shot. Yeah. Hard game, and I think they can only really blame themselves via the draft too, right? Could have just taken Rise on 4. Pack it up, observer 1 MVP. Yeah,
they just didn't have damage. Like that's literally what we said from the very beginning.
And it just came to fruition, right? The only person who could have really dealt some damage was the Lucian, but he wasn't paired up with an Enchanter, right? It wasn't a Nami, it wasn't a Milio, which again I think Milio's really broken. I think we need to start seeing if you're gonna play Lucian, like play with Milio. I promise it's probably the best pairing. Doesn't come through, and just lacking the damage cut through the front line in this one. And Gala, how many times does it feel like Gala just got a really good bullet time for value? You know, whether it's actual kills or just outright damage, doesn't really matter. Just ending the game.
And I gotta say, it was really nice also to see a pivotal performance from Jiejie on his Poppy. Not going to be available any longer, but they were even able to play with that in the draft and force that Xin Zhao ban as well from the other side of things. So I'm really interested in what we get for game number 3, especially because I think it's been a little bit back and forth. It's been very reserved from both teams, but then the leads have kind of just exploded from both sides. So really hoping we get that contested game number 3. But now we got to start thinking about MVPs for this game number 2. And I mean, I think it has to be none other than Rookie, man. I think you could talk a lot about Gala. You could say some things about Jiejie for sure, but Rookie had a vintage Rookie performance.
Yeah. Rookie will get it.
Speak your truth, bro.
Ooh, Jiejie should get it.
Okay.
Jiejie should get it. He should be the one that should get MVP. He's the one that had like the actual impact, but Rookie will get it.
Yeah, he will.
You just know, right? At the end of the day.
I mean, come on. When you outplay that top lane play like he did, man, he is just breaking ankles.
The reason why Rookie was able to get this performance off was because of Jiejie. I don't make the rules. I'm just breaking it down and giving it to you straight.
Just give the knowledge, man. Yeah, absolutely. Just like you gave us your really accurate take on Weibo Gaming at the beginning of the day. You're just here to speak your truth. Yeah, you know that was coming back to bite you. As we're gonna send it off to break for game number 3. We'll see you on the other side.